introduce you our speaker for today, Professor Correa Alonso. He's a computer engineer, computer science engineer, and also a language teacher. He holds a master's degree and a PhD in education. As a presenter, he has delivered presentations related to the use of technology in education, which is something we really appreciate nowadays. And he has held this presentation at TESOL Chile before, Socopi Colombia as well, TESOL Peru, IETOEFL Peru, BETA Bolivia, and in Ecuador as well. So he has a long story of sharing knowledge with all of us language teachers. So without further ado, I would like to leave you with Alonso. Go ahead, Alonso. Enjoy the presentation.
Okay, thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. This is Alonso from Peru. Thank you, dear Barbara in Chile. And yes, our title for today's afternoon, maybe some people are in the evening, it's related to technology, EdTech, no? Educational technology. And our main objective is getting familiar with this model. You know, there are other alternatives besides SAMR, the SAMR model, but I consider this one one of the most easiest model to integrate technology into our classes, which is something that, you know, the last couple of years due to the pandemic, it's something that all the teachers around the world, we are looking for, right? To integrate technology into our classes. All right, so let's begin. Listen, I need your interaction. I need you to participate in the chat a lot. Yep. So first picture, and here we go with the first question. What do you see in this picture? So you tell me, maybe you can use the chat, please, here. So what do you see in this picture? Evolution of technology. Excellent. Yes, you got it, guy. You got it, sir. Somebody else was going to say the same. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, but let's focus on the next question. Maybe, can you describe this picture with only one word? So now you have your chance. Only one word to describe this picture. Yes. Improvement, somebody said. Improvement could be. What do we have for a prize, Miss Barbara?
We have
surprise.
A lot of friendship.
At the end of the webinar, we will reveal the surprise.
We also have Sahat. Inventions, that's a great word. From difficult to very easy, says Marlene as well.
One word, remember, that was.
Oh, one word.
Okay, so perfect. Thank you so much. Yes.
Oh, look at those. Easy. Marlene says easy. Paola says fear. And Juan says learning. Oh, okay.
Excellent.
Progress. Javier
Progress.
says
those are good. Those are good guessings. Comfort. Thank you. All right. All of your answers are right. There are no incorrect answers here because you mentioned evolution, you mentioned improvement, inventions, learning, progress. Yeah, I was worried about the answer of fear. I don't know what is it fear, but listen, this is true. This is true. Some people, we struggle with technology, and sometimes we are afraid of use technology in our classes because we cannot deal with that. It is true. It is true also. But yes, I agree. The word here is evolution. Yes. You see, technology has changed our lives. Yes, you want it or you don't want to see it. This is reality. 2021, technology has changed our lives, our habits. No, so imagine to I don't know, losing your cell phone, your laptop for 1 week, for 1 month, not internet connection. Oh, I don't know, a nightmare. Yes. So education, no, as you can see in these pictures, has evolved along with technology. So technology, it doesn't only influence our habits, the way we communicate with people, but also technology has a strong influence on education. And here, I'm going to show you how that influence, no, has taken technology from 1.0, from education 1.0, to finally we are talking at this time about education 3.0, right? So this is something that started many decades ago, in which you know, the teacher was the center of the class. No, you couldn't stand up. You must be quiet all the time because the teachers were the center of the class. They were they used to tell you everything you needed to know. They were the human encyclopedias, right? So that was many decades ago, in which we rely a lot on books. No, so a bunch of books in the past meant a lot of knowledge, right? So that's why our great grandfather had a huge library, yes, in our houses, because the more books you buy, the more, you know, that was in the past, uh, knowledge you get. But everything changed, no? Everything changed, no? As you can see on the right here, there is an overhead projector. I don't know if you have attended to classes which in which you're a professor at university. I remember because I attended one of those classes. My professor used those, no, overhead projectors, just projectors. I don't know, screens, etc. And education change, right? Education change. We were more willing to engage students into our classes, into interaction. We invited students to go to the board. Come on, stand up, go to the board. This is the marker, no? We invited the students, learners, to take a more active part in our classes, which is good, right? Which is good. The last stage, the one we are, you know, currently, no, we are facing, we are um, having currently during these years, I would say a couple of decades, no longer than that, no, a couple of decades. It's technology, no, it's the boom of technology everywhere, so everybody can get a smartphone, Padlets, you have your tablets, laptops everywhere. You can travel around the world with your tablet, with your laptop, take a train with your laptop. You can work from the remote island in the world, and you can still learn something, and you can still deliver your lessons, right? And this is the 3.0. This is the last stage of the evolution of education, in which technology takes an important role. I won't say it takes the central role, because teachers, we are important. We are more important than technology. Technology are just tools. So the key is that you, as a teacher, need to choose the right tool for the right task at the right moment. And that, my dear attenders, is tough. Yes. So you don't not only need to memorize the best, I don't know, 100 websites around the world in terms of learning a language. No, you also need to choose the right tools about writing, about speaking, about listening, about reading, which are the best smartphone applications to learn English, or for example, to improve your speaking skills. Do you know that? No? So this is something that we need to know, right? So technology boosts learners' autonomy. Now we are very focused on this. We want our students, we want our learners to develop this sort of autonomy. And technology, no? Technology is for them 24/7. Yes, teachers, we humans, we have a short period of life, and we have maybe 5 or 6 hours a day before pandemic interaction with our students at school. But what about technology? What about, for example, those streaming platforms? No? What about those MOOC courses online and for free? So they are available there. Yes. So technology boosts learners' autonomy on creating knowledge. We don't want our student to just watch videos. We don't want our student to just look at the picture. No, we want our students to be creators of their own knowledge by creating content. Sometimes media, like videos, but we want them to create content, and we want them to interact to their peers around the world at the same age, maybe the same level of the school. But we want interaction. We want our students to be part of the global education community, to take part actively in seminars, in congress, in competitions, and contents, and so on, right? So this is possible nowadays, more than ever, easier with the use of technology, right? So that's the point. But listen, technology also has given us another learning theory, because I remember when I was an undergraduate student, my professor told me about 3 important learning theories, right? Cognitivism, behaviorism, and constructivism, right? And we needed to memorize about Piaget, Vygotsky, Skinner, Watson, wow, about Brunner. But now, due to the the evolution of technology and its influence on education, we have another alternative, another 4th learning theory, which is connectivism. Yeah, connectivism, it's a reality. It's among us. Yes, we cannot survive if we are not connected. This is true. We cannot collaborate if we are not connected. No, for example, I live in a city which is in the north of Peru called Trujillo, but I work for another city which is 500 kilometers from my bedroom, because I am in my bedroom. And I cannot do that without technology, without connecting with my peers, without attending to important meetings in my translation and interpreting school. It's impossible. Yes. So this is something that our students feel and live. They need connection. They need to collaborate. They need constant feedback. Not only they require the feedback of an adult, teachers, but they also want to know what their classmates and their friends outside the school know or think about. For example, I don't know, a website that one student created. They need to know. So they need instant feedback. So connectivism is focused on that. And building ideas, building networks, encourage the student to develop the skills like problem solving, to experience, but based on technology as well. Yes. So Mr. George Siemens and Stephen Downes are the authors of this learning theory. So I would recommend you to get deeper in this new learning theory, which is connectivism. All right. Okay. So I think it's time for our Mentimeter. Yes, it's time. Mentimeter time here. Mentimeter time. So I will share with you the link. Yes. So you just click. No, you just click. I'm gonna share with you. Let me share the link in the chat. Yes, there you go. The tenders who have a smartphone, you just can use your favorite QR, no? Your favorite application to read this code, yes? Otherwise, you just click on the link that I shared with you, all right? So I'm going to start projecting the Mentimeter. Number one, here we go. Yes. Now I'm going to share my screen here. Yeah, okay. So this is our Menti. Yeah, on the right, I can see some attenders who are already there waiting for me to start with this Mentimeter. So let's give them some time to join this Mentimeter. Just click on the link, or maybe follow this instruction. Go to menti.com and use the code 7424 1112. Yeah, that's the other alternative. Okay. So let's see if you pay attention what we said so far. And let's find out how much you know about the SAMR model, the SAMR model, all right? Okay, I think we can proceed. Yep, okay. All right, so here we go. Okay, so first question for you. Which tools have you used until now? How recently? I mean, the last 2 years. Yes, 2021. So click on them. There are many options here. Excellent. Yeah, it takes some time. Okay, so yes. It is changing. It is changing. Okay, let's wait. Yes. I was expecting this kind of numbers because since you are here, since you are paying attention to this webinar, you are high-tech teachers, don't you? You are high-tech teacher. I can tell that. Yes, I was expecting those numbers. Thank you. Of course. Sort of. It says sort of. Yes. You're very humble. You're very humble. You're good at technology too. I can tell. I can tell. Okay. So, it's changing. It's still moving. Numbers are still changing. But we can see now our top three, no? Our top three Padlet. So it means that many of you know how to use Padlet in your classes. So we got Padlet, top one, top two and three. There is a tie, maybe Mentimeter and WordWall. No? I don't know. WordWall, it's some very interesting website in which you can create easily a variety of activities that you can play with your students, with your learners in class. Wow, it changed now. So if you are a curious teacher, you can go to www.worldworld.com and you will see for yourself that this is a very easy website to create games and different activities, a lot of activities like word search, like puzzles, and more and more. Huh? Okay, so that's the top three. That's it. Okay, let me see. Jamboard and Edpuzzle. Excellent, dear teachers. I love Edpuzzle. If you haven't used Edpuzzle, this tool in your classes, you should do it. Go for it. Yes, because you can use a YouTube video or another video from other resources like National Geographic, and you can use that video to insert questions, So could be a true-false question, open questions. It's up to you. You decide. But it gives the student or the person you share the link with an opportunity to interact with the video. So it is no longer like you sit down, you watch the video, close the video, and then listen to the teacher. No. With Edpuzzle, you can create a sort of interaction between the student and the video, and you can monitor everything, the scores, how many good answers you got, or maybe try to see the question in which the majority of your students made a mistake. So that's a good tool, Edpuzzle. Jamboard, I think that most of us, we use all the G Suite tools, no? Google Classroom, Google Meet, Google Calendar, and of course we have Google Jamboard because it belongs to the G Suite. So you create a Gmail account and voila, you have all these apps, all these tools for you for free. What else? Genially, 8%. I'm worried. Yes, I was expecting you to use Genially, I don't know, a little bit more. Genially, it's awesome. Yes, Genially, it's awesome. You can create interactive presentations. You can insert your voice. I'm going to show you, yes, later on. One of our creations, say our because I created with a couple of teachers. So we created an interesting Genially with the voice of one of them. Yes, a beautiful voice. So Genially, Nearpod, in my opinion, Nearpod is one of the best tools for teachers because it integrates the majority of features that you can find, for example, in a Kahoot, in the Socrative. You can ask questions. You can also, for example, add games, yes, like WordWall. You can also do interactions like videos, like MP3 audio file. So Nearpod is, it's great. It's great. Also, it has the advantage to use Flipgrid. I don't know if you have used Flipgrid before. Yes. That's another interesting tool to create a video, no, audiovisual debates, yes, in your classes. Quite interesting tool, Flipgrid. Powtoon animations, easy to do, easy to create. Your students, I don't know, maybe primary students, 10 years old, 11 years old, they are able to create animations in Powtoon. So I suggest you to use Powtoon as well. Yes, and more tools that we are going to check them later on. All right, thank you so much. That was the first part of the Mentimeter. Let's stop with the Mentimeter. And now let's start with our main topic today, which is, in my opinion, the easiest model to integrate ICT in our classes. But listen, I am a third teacher, so I'm gonna show you alternatives and options. According to many researchers, there are two important models when we want to integrate ICT in class. The TPAC model, whose authors are Punja Mishra and Matthew Coiler back in 2005, 2006. This model, yes, tries to find, as you can see in this picture, the key moment or the key stage in which technology content knowledge, technological pedagogical content knowledge, and technological pedagogical knowledge TPK, everything is integrated to allow teachers to integrate technology. So I think it's a little bit complex because you need to be good at technology. You also need to master the contents of your subject, of course, and you also have to possess some teaching techniques, you know, because we are talking about the pedagogical knowledge. So it's a sort of complicated thing, yes, but with a sequence, you know, with a sequence, following the tips, the suggestions, and the organization of this model, you can be a successful teacher who integrates this model in your classes. Yes, but today, on your right, we are going to focus on the SAMR model. As you can see, it's clear. 4 steps, 4 stages. Yes, it's like a ladder. Huh? Substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. Yes, the author of this model is Mr. Dr. Rubén Puentedura, and it was created, no, back in 2010, no, 2010. And Mr. Puentedura, he classified these steps into 2 big groups. As you can see, substitution and augmentation belong to enhancement. Modification and redefinition belongs to transformation. Yes. What is the final goal of this model? Is that you, dear teacher, can create an activity that is going to challenge your classmates, your learners, your students, until the redefinition level. So that's the objective, that your activity reaches the redefinition level. Huh? So that's the goal. Yeah, that's the goal in this model. Yes. So we are going to explore, yes, a little bit of these stages, a little bit deeper, one of these stages. But remember, substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. Yes. So this model, no, SAMR, stands for those words. Huh? Okay, so that's the first, you know, overview of this model. And here we go. Yeah, okay. So look at your screens. Look at your screens. And let me ask you one question here. The question is, would you dare to dive in this ocean? Would you, I don't know, consider yourself brave enough to dive, no, in this ocean? This is the SAMR ocean model. And, you know, many years ago, I don't know, I was like this guy, like this person. I was afraid. Yes, I'm telling you this. And many of you, maybe at the beginning, before using technology in classes, you might felt a little bit no afraid of using technology because technology sometimes is challenging for us. Yes, we don't want to make mistakes in front of our students. And sometimes, let me tell you that technology, oh, sometimes that internet connection is gone. Sometimes the electricity supply at the school, at the university is gone, blackout the whole day. So there are many factors in which technology might fail you. And we maybe feel afraid of that, don't you? Yes. Mhm. So if your answer is yes, I'm brave enough, I want to dive until the bottom of this ocean. All right. So that's the first step. Yes. Good for you. All the way. Yes, all the way. So we start in substitution. Yeah? It's not big deal. I mean, all the teachers now, due to the pandemic, due to this remote teaching, are doing this. Yeah? All our students are starting in the substitution level. Because why? Because there is only one change in terms of the tool that we use. No, there is no function at all. It's like instead of papers, your students write on Microsoft Word. So there is no big deal. There is no big change. It's just changing paper with, I don't know, with a word processor, no, Microsoft Word, and that's it. So the substitution level, I think it's the starting point for everybody. The second level, going deeper in this ocean, yeah, scuba diving, it's augmentation. Yes. Now there is not only a direct change of the tool, but also at minimum, some minimal functional improvements. So you are using technology and your student cannot use paper for this activity. Yes? Again, another example. What about if I tell my students, I don't know, to write a poem? In face-to-face classes, one of my students is going to take a pen, pencil, a piece of paper, an eraser, I don't know, liquid paper, ruler, and create a poem. That's it. Substitution, okay, dear student, do it in Word, Microsoft Word. Nothing changed. But what about if I tell my student to write a poem, for example, and publish this poem in I don't know, in the website of the school? Is it possible for my student to go back, no, step back and use a paper to create a poem, and put the paper, I don't know where exactly, but it's impossible, right? To use a paper to put it in the website. It's impossible because a website belongs to the digital world. So in this moment, there is no, I don't know, way back, no, to the substitution level. So this is what Mr. Rubén Puentedura means by saying that with a little functional improvement. Yes, if the task, if your activity proposed for your students shows a little bit of functional improvement, all right, dear teacher, you are in the next level. Yes. But the most challenging group of, I don't know, stages are modification and redefinition. Yes. In the modification stage, you, dear teacher, no, are going to use technology to allow significant redesign, no, a whole different change that is impossible to do it without technology. No, impossible to do it without technology. Sometimes in this level, students use videos. Yes, students use their voices, audio files, MP3 files, right? Sometimes because it is more complex. You know, it's complex now, so they have to insert those files. And the last stage is the redefinition, redefinition stage, in which the task is impossible to do it without technology. It is very complex that students, for example, use the internet to publish their creations. For example, an animation in Powtoon. For example, use WeVideo to create a spot, an advertisement for the school or for the contents in your class, right? So redefinition is the complete change of the activity, the complete change of the task that cannot be used or undone without technology, right? So the transformation of the activity. So listen, let's take a look at to the next slide. Yes. And let me raise the board. I'm so sorry. Yeah, let me raise the board. And we are going to watch a video of 2 minutes, I guess, just 2 minutes. Let me see if, yes, I'm sharing the sound, in which you will have another opinion, another way to see the whole process of this model, all right? So please, pay attention.
Technology has the power to transform student learning. But what happens when it doesn't? What happens when that class set of iPads is nothing more than a class set of really expensive digital worksheets? The SAMR model tackles these issues with a focus on the intersection of technology and pedagogy. This model has 4 different layers, the first 2 focusing on enhancing the learning task, while the next 2 layers focus on actual transformation. With substitution, the technology acts as a direct substitute with no significant change. So a student typing an essay on a computer is merely swapping out paper for a laptop. With augmentation, the technology acts as a substitution with some functional improvement. So that same essay is now done on a Google document with the ability to have classmates leave comments on one another's work. With modification, technology allows for significant task redesign. So that same essay is now a blog post. Students are doing research online, editing on a shared document, and publishing to an authentic audience. It is no longer an essay. It is an article crafted for the world. With redefinition, the technology allows for new tasks that were previously inconceivable. So that same essay is now a multimedia package. Students are not only researching online, but connecting with experts through video conferencing. They are co-writing their posts with a digital blogging cohort from around the world. They are producing not only a blog post, but also a corresponding podcast and an edited video. Notice that the higher up you move through the SAMR model, the more transformative the technology task becomes, both in terms of multimedia content creation and in terms of communication with the rest of the world.
Okay, thank you so much. So I hope you paid a lot of attention because now we are go back to the Mentimeter, right? So that was our last page in the Mentimeter about the tools. And now let's continue. Okay, let's see if you paid attention to the video in my explanation about Mr. Rubén Puentedura's integration ICT in class strategy, which is the model of the SAMR model, right? So let's see. It's time to compete here. So the first question is, what does SAMR stand for? Good memory. Don't Google it. Don't Google it. You have 1 minute to give me the right answer. So try to access your short-term memory. Don't Google it, eh? Don't cheat on this question, please. Yeah, I trust you. You are not Googling right now, all right? Okay, what is that? What does SAMR stand for? Okay, let's see. Okay, 10 seconds. I think. Yes, we don't. Signs up. Okay, 5. Yes, 5. Yes, and here we go. Let's see. Reveal your answer. Oh, excellent. Everybody got the right answer. Excellent. Substitution, augmentation, be careful with the spelling. Modification and redefinition. Yes. So remember, the idea is to reach the highest level in this model. So let's see our leaderboard. Okay. Ribit, Lola, Oti, Nicholas, Ashley. Excellent. Okay. Everybody got 1,000 points. And let's see. Wait. We need to see who's going to be the winner with our question number 2. Yes. Okay. So the faster you answer this question, the more points you get. Here we go. Who is the author of this model, of the SAMR model? You got it. Okay, only 10 seconds. 10 seconds left. And, ooh. Okay, excellent. Six, yes, participants got the right answer. Let's see, let's find out who they are. Our top 3, there is a change. Wait a moment. Yes. Okay, Lola. Yes, congratulations for Lola. Excellent. Well done. Yes. Well done. Yes. 1,972 points. Excellent. Good for you. Excellent. You pay attention to everything what was said here in this webinar. Thank you so much. And now let's go back. Let's go back to our presentation. Thank you so much. Let's go back to our presentation.
Technology.
Because it's the moment to analyze in detail some bits of this model, right? So we got here substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. Before the pandemic, 2019, piece of paper was enough, no? An element we use every day in our classes. No, all our students with their backpacks, wow, with their backpacks, with the pencils cases everywhere, erasers everywhere, notebooks, you know, that was before the pandemic. But now we need to use technology. And one easy tool is to have our students to use Padlet. Why not? Padlet, I'm going to show you right now. Padlet, it's a very friendly and easy to use tool. Wait a moment. I consider that there are more advantages than disadvantages. You know that if you want to get the full features, all the possible advantages of this tool, we need to pay. But you have the chance to at least create 4, yes, or five, as you can see, 5 present walls of Padlet, right? So Padlet, it's a very interesting tool, I'm sorry, in which all the all your students can write, no, can express themselves. For example, this is something that I use with my classmates the very first day of class, because I tell them to introduce themselves. Yes, I remember this class. You see, this is a different Padlet, yeah, in which students can write a very short introduction of themselves, right? In English, of course, in English. And you can type any city, no? Any city, any country in the world, no? Just click on here. And then you, for example, type, I don't know, here, Lima, Peru, no? And then you can start writing, no? And then you can publish, and automatically you will have an entry here. So it's a very nice way to let students to introduce themselves, right? So just click here, type the city, any city in the world. Yes. For example, in Germany, let's talk about Germany. And we let our students to introduce themselves, right? Writing about their hobbies, their preferences, their expectations about our classes, right? So this is a very easy tool to promote writing. But not only writing, you can also, let me change another here. Yes, another Padlet, because there are different types of Padlet. You can also, for example, add pictures or videos, no? So you can add files. Oh, there's a links. Okay, let me show you, for example, the cover of our webinar. And this, for example, I love EdTech, no? Educational technology, EdTech, and that's it, voila. So students can write, for example, pictures about their daily routines, about, for example, plans around their neighborhood, or I don't know, common places like a drugstore or bank in their neighborhoods. So it depends on the teacher, how you create a task, challenging enough, but fun at the same time, so your students enjoy that task, right? So you can add pictures, videos, and so on, right? So let me go back. Another one is, of course, Google Docs. It's another very well-known tool. So what have we done so far? just substitution. No more papers. Now let's use Padlet. Yes. So that's one example. But what about if we go a little bit, a task which is more challenging for our students? In the past, no, for example, a very easy task for our students: write a poem, write a song, create a tongue twister, something like that, right? But here, the use of technology, and maybe trying to take our students to the last level, to the top of this model, which is redefinition, we ask our students to create a vlog, no? Because now our students love these social medias like TikTok or Instagram or Twitch, so on, right? They love those visual social networks. So what about create a vlog? Not only a blog, but a vlog. No? This time is not only writing. It's not only writing. This time the student can also insert animations. The student can also record himself or herself in the video, acting out, for example, a segment, a part of the poem. It's possible. It's possible, right? And post it on Instagram or post it on YouTube or on another social network. As I told you, right? In the official website of your school, or for example, in a private group on Facebook. Yeah, because on Facebook you can create private groups. Only your class, only your students can access that group. All right. So my suggestion, the tool that I suggest you is WeVideo. Yeah. So let me show you. Wait a moment, please. Let me show you WeVideo. Yes. Listen, you don't need to, for example, download any program. You don't need to download any software. You don't need to set up any application on your laptop, on your cell phone, on your tablet. No. You can do it, your students can do it online and simultaneously. Listen, free, online, and simultaneously. This is like when our students share a document, a Google Doc, and 5 students are writing in the same page. So this is the same. But instead of using a word processor, we are editing a video. Wonderful. Students love to work with this application, with this web app. Yes. So this is wevideo.com, www. So if you have some time, yes, you can also, do your own research. You try it, and if you like it, share with your classmate and create tasks so your students can enjoy. For example, this is about Halloween. Yes, because today it's October 1st, so a new month. Yes, Halloween could be a possible. Yes. Yes, you see, lovely. Yes, lovely video. So instead of these people, of these characters, your students, right, can perform dances like a Thriller of Michael Jackson. It's a classic in Halloween. Even teachers, we have dance Thriller in our classes due to the Halloween celebrations in our school. Yes, or maybe you or your students, dress up in costumes like vampire. I had to do that. Yeah, I had to do that when I work with primary learners. I had to dress up in a vampire costume. It was a whole of experience. Yeah, but listen, your students don't need to pay anything to use this software. It's free. They can add MP3 audios, you see. They can add videos as well. Yes, they can add a text or tracks. They can cut, of course, if they don't like one part, they eliminate, they can cut that. So this is the MP3. You can move, right, from one place to another. You can change, make different sound effects. And this is an awesome application that your students are gonna love it. Yes. What do you need? Of course, internet connection, and of course, a mobile device, tablet, cell phone, or laptop or PC. Yeah. So this is redefinition, because this is impossible to do it with papers. It's impossible. Now the activity is not only write a poem, sino is create a V-block poem, which is challenging. Your students need to edit video, edit audio, they need to write, they need to record their dances, for example, and they use this application, wevideo.com, to put all together, right? So this is another good example. And there are more, no? So it depends on the teacher. How can you change an easy face-to-face activity task into a more challenging one, into a redefinition activity, which involves a lot of complex activity, no? For example, substitution. What about a word puzzle? Augmentation. Okay. Listen, you are going to record your voice, dear students. You are going to record record their voice reading the words. Okay, it's different. What about modification? Okay, now you are going to use drawing tools. You're gonna type the words down. You're gonna use colors. Not only your voice, but also you can record videos, insert videos, and so on. What about redefinition stage? Well, this time you can use, for example, WeVideo to put all this together in one element, in one file. So you can use PDF files, you can use videos, a lot of videos using the words they learn. And of course, this is the last one, the most important step in the redefinition is that you share. We want our students to create content, to use technology, but also to share. Remember why? Because 21st century students want instant feedback. They want their projects, their creations went viral. This is what they want. They want a lot of likes, a lot of comments, interactions. This is what they love, no? This is the profile of our learners, yes? And of course, share with their parents, teachers, and peers, and so on, right? So it's up to you, it's up to you. But listen, these are 4 questions that can guide you to move from one stage to the other, to go up in this model. 4 questions, simple questions that you, dear teacher, need to ask yourself before you give this task, no? You, yes, give this task to your classmates, to your students. Question 1. What will I gain by replacing the task with new technology? Is it worth it? I'd rather just use papers. Why should I use Padlet? So you need to think about it. If your answer is yes, no? If your answer is yes, you are going to gain a lot because your students are going to develop their, for example, ICT skills. Okay, go for it. What about augmentation? Does the technology add new features that improve the task? If the answer is yes, it does, you are in the next level. if your task answered this question positively, you are in the next level, right? The last two questions are related to modification and redefinition. Does the task significantly change what the use of technology? Of course. If it is modification, of course, if it uses a video, for example, if the students are recording their voices, for example, does the tech allow for creation of new tasks or of new tasks previously unconceivable? This is the last stage, redefinition. And the idea is to students to create something new, but create something new using technology in which they use different medias, acoustics, visuals, oh, letters, words, pictures, everything in one product, in one element. And then they will be able to publish or share this element or creation with the world on a YouTube channel, on a website, etc. Right? So these four questions are very important. You need to ask yourself before creating any task. All right. And the last, I'm going to finish with the last, my last thoughts about this model. It's that it matches perfectly with Bloom's taxonomy. We have read a lot about Bloom's taxonomy. We try to use Bloom's taxonomy, and it matches perfectly with this model. This is what I like about the SAMR model. If you take, for example, an activity that belongs to substitution, maybe you are in the first stage of the Bloom's taxonomy. But what about redefinition? I told you, redefinition goes to create something, right? Create something. So it's important to find some matches between the model and the taxonomy. And I'm going to finish with this. This is something that I shared with you along this webinar, this presentation. Nearpod, as I told you, that I will share with you something about Nearpod, something about, for example, Genially. Oh, yes. This is an activity that we created with some co-workers. Let me show you. And with Genially, okay, let me turn on the sound because you need to listen to the music. Can you hear the music? Yes, from the India. Yeah, so interesting, right? Easy. So our students here practice easily. Just click on the picture, exercise, have virtual classes. Yes, listen to music because they are exploring the vocabulary. Then let's watch a video. Let's watch the routine. Yes. This is the audio file. Listen to this beautiful voice.
Hello everyone, I'm Saira Situ and I'm 12 years old. I'm from New Delhi.
Huh? Okay, maybe the volume, turning on, turning up.
This is my new normal during lockdown.
Huh.
This is my new
Yes. So listen, you, dear teacher, can use your own voice for to insert the audio file here, and your students are gonna love it. Yes, because this is what makes technology more human. When, for example, everybody turns on their cameras, when the student listen to the voice of their teacher, and listen, this element, this product, this Genially, it's 24/7. So imagine 20 years in the future when your students get married, they have children, they have a beautiful family, and then they can share that link to their children, and they can tell them, listen, that's the voice of my teacher. It would be awesome. And this is thanks to technology, because this is when you create something, it's going to be forever and ever there on the net. Yes. So this is an example of Nearpod. Yes, generally we video. Okay, we practice a little bit about Padlet. Yeah, I think we covered some interesting tools as well. So let me go back and let's try to, yes, finish with this. Okay, so don't forget Flipgrid. It's awesome too. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this webinar. And I don't know, can we have some minutes to questions? I don't know. Are there any questions in the chat?
Thank you. So that was amazing. Yes, I'll help you, but just let me I probably represent everybody when I say this was fantastic, not just because of the resources that you share, but to have this framework, this model that you shared really helps us understand. I was wondering all the time, where am I in this SAMR model? Like, where am I? Am I augmenting? Am I just substituting, right? So I'm sure that everyone was probably thinking the same. I saw some questions during your presentation on the chat that, but they got some answers anyway. So maybe everyone who is with us right now, would you like to ask anything else? You can open up your microphone, or you can just write your answers in the chat. And if you're following us on Facebook Live, you can also write a comment and we will take your questions. Feel free to write your questions. Right, Evangelina had a great question. That was one of the greatest questions. Are you going to share these resources? Oh.
Sharing is caring, of course. Sharing is caring. Okay, Juan. Yes, good question. I would say, well, it depends. It depends. It depends of the skill you are trying to improve, or the activity you are trying to carry on in your class. If you want them, for example, to create something very easy, I would say Powtoon. Powtoon, it's easy for them. You can explain them the animations, and the students love it. If you see that your students are more like advanced, high-tech users, you can use WeVideo, no, as a very I don't know, advanced tool, because they are going to edit the video, insert frames, insert MP3 files. Yes, so it depends what skill are you trying to improve in your students. You know that Genially for me works perfectly. Genially, it is one of my favorites. As long those tools for gamification, no, that everybody knows, Socrative, the quizzes, the Kahoot, no, but those tools are the ones that you use for create a sort of motivation, or maybe you want to reinforce some grammar points in your class, so you applied a Kahoot, a Socrative, right? But it's not a tool for a student to create something, because they are just going to click alternatives, click A, B, C, D, A, B, C, multiple choice. So it depends what you want. If you want to evaluate, if you want them to work in groups, if you want them to work individually, listen, that's also good. Or I don't know, listen, there are many tools. For example, I have another one, you know, maybe this one, Whiteboard 5, FI. I don't know if you have did something, one activity with this. It works awesome, like the picture you have in your screen, right? All the students have like a sort of mini board, and they can write, draw, do some mathematics, and answer everything you say. No, for example, I can do it with listening activities. My students listen to a conversation. I show them maybe the questions, and they answer in those mini boards. And you as a teacher can monitor all of these mini boards at the same time. Awesome. Yes. So you are supervising individually how your students perform during this activity. So you can tell which students are the weaker ones and need your help, or which students are the faster, no, the fastest one, and they can, you can, for example, give them freedom, right, to be learners autonomous there. I have another one, says. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Sharing is
Sharing,
very.
right. So thank you guys for sharing. I also saw that some of the attendees also shared some of the websites that we were asking about. So I thank you for that, because that's great community. That shows how cool a community we teachers are. It's pretty cool. Are there any other questions, guys? I'm just checking also the messages on Facebook, and you do have some messages. Yeah, but you do have lots of congratulations.
Oh, really? Yes, I feel very happy now.
Yes, Juan Carlos, right? Juan Carlos Cipra is greetings from Peru. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, so thank you for sharing that. All right. And do we have any other question? Maybe one final question that you guys would like to share? Remember, you can open up your mic, or you can just type in on the chat, whatever makes you feel more comfortable. So I'll give you maybe a few seconds. All right. If we don't have any more questions, I would like to, first of all, congratulate Alonso. That was a great presentation. I really, really enjoyed it. So useful. And I think we all enjoyed it. And I would like to congratulate our attendees who were by far the most participative audience we have ever had in the chat. So thank you everyone for that. Juan, Javiera, Bernardita.
Thank you.
Yes, the presentation will be recorded on Facebook. It's already available. As soon as I click on stop, it will be there, so you can review it as many times as you want. And I will also upload it to our TESOL Chile YouTube channel. That might take a few days, right? But you can find it on Facebook right away. So please go ahead and share it. As Alonso said, sharing is caring. So
it's true.
Yes. So that was a great presentation. So thank you everyone for attending. Thank you, Alonso, for having us and being our webinar number 6 of the year. A great webinar from our friends in Peru. And I really love to have this connection with Latin America. I'm super glad that this is working. So guys, we will, so from now on, that will be the end of the presentation. Thank you for everything. We will stop the recording and the Facebook Live, and we really hope to see you on our next webinar by TESOL Chile. Bye, everybody.
Take care.